Have you ever wondered what makes a snake hunt so insane that viewers are forced to hold their breath? In the wild, just a tiny movement is enough to trigger a lethal reflex. Everything happens so fast that even the camera barely captures the moment of fate. Get ready, because right after this, you will witness the craziest snake hunts ever recorded in nature. Watch now. Malayan krait versus sunbeam snake. This rare footage shows the moment a Malayan krait closes in and strikes a sunbeam snake. Armed with extremely potent neurotoxic venom, the predator seeks to deliver a bite fast enough to paralyze its opponent.
The head, which is obviously where the krait wants to be.
However, the sunbeam snake refuses to be subdued.
The krait repeatedly bit biting, obviously because he's unhappy about it.
It reacts violently, repeatedly twisting its body and coiling tightly around the krait's head, attempting to disrupt the most dangerous phase of the attack.
He doesn't like it, he just rolls around.
The struggle becomes prolonged as both tense in close quarters combat, where even the smallest mistake can decide fate. Mussurana versus Jararaca. On open ground, a Musurana tracking prey suddenly comes face to face with a Jararaca. The distance is so close that neither has the option to evade. Mussurana immediately presses in, using its body to tightly coil the opponent, locking movement and breaking any counterattack rhythm. It bites and holds the Jararaca's body, but the smooth, tough scales make initial control less effective. Jararaca is one of the most dangerous venomous snakes in South America, possessing hemotoxic venom that causes severe hemorrhage, tissue necrosis, and internal organ damage upon envenomation. As the Jararaca gradually loses control, Mussurana shifts its attack, straightening and fixing the head to completely neutralize the bite. Thanks to its special venom resistance, Mussurana can maintain close-range pressure without hesitation. This is not chance, but a biological advantage that determines the outcome of the confrontation. Corredeira versus rattlesnake. In another hunt, Corredeira suddenly collides with a rattlesnake lying motionless close to the ground. The distance is so short, there is no room to avoid contact. The two bodies twist tightly together, forming a tense struggle from the very first moments. The rattlesnake manages to turn and counterstrike, its fangs sinking into the opponent's body. But Corredeira can tolerate a certain level of venom and does not release its controlling grip. Pressure is maintained continuously. When the opponent's body can no longer sustain resistance, Corredeira begins the process of swallowing its prey. Rabbit versus snake. On open ground, several baby rabbits are being tightly coiled by a snake. Immediately, the mother rabbit charges in without hesitation to save her young. The mother rabbit does not retreat. She confronts the snake directly, repeatedly kicking forcefully and forcing it to back away. Few realize that rabbits possess very powerful hind legs, capable of delivering kicks strong enough to injure small predators. The snake attempts to circle and counterattack, but faced with this unexpected aggression, it is forced to flee. In nature, when the instinct to protect offspring erupts, prey can also become the dominant force. Mulga snake versus snake. The mulga snake is one of the few species that specialize in hunting and eating other snakes, including those with extremely potent venom. Unlike many snakes, mulga snakes have very high venom tolerance, allowing them to attack without excessive avoidance. This time, an unlucky snake is quietly searching for food, unaware that it has entered a hunting territory. The mulga snake quickly detects residual heat and chemical scent. When the snake slips into a burrow for shelter, the mulga snake immediately follows, drags the prey straight out, and begins swallowing it whole. To a mulga snake, even venomous snakes are just another meal. Cobra versus lizard. The long-nosed cobra is an extremely aggressive predator, possessing neurotoxic venom capable of paralyzing prey in a short time. In this encounter, it targets a large lizard moving slowly across the ground. The venom is already taking effect, but the lizard does not collapse immediately. Despite its body gradually stiffening, it still manages to drag the snake across the surface. Few people know that some lizard species have a higher tolerance to neurotoxins than expected. After several escape attempts, the lizard suddenly breaks free and runs away, a rare outcome against a cobra. Blue krait versus snake. The blue krait moves slowly through the night, detecting a smaller snake moving carelessly. The blue krait is a specialized snake hunter, even preying on highly venomous snakes. With neurotoxic venom containing alpha-bungarotoxin that can block nerve signals and paralyze prey rapidly. Notably, this species has a very low metabolic rate and therefore does not need to hunt frequently. As a result, every hunt is carefully calculated, with safety always more important than speed in the darkness. King snake versus rattlesnake. The king snake holds the rattlesnake tightly in stable coils, not constricting aggressively, but maintaining just enough pressure for the prey to gradually lose resistance. As the rattlesnake weakens and its reflexes slow, the king snake begins swallowing from the head. Its jaw structure is extremely flexible, with the two halves not rigidly fused, allowing astonishing expansion to swallow prey much larger than the diameter of its head. In nature, snakes are an energy-rich and low-competition food source, and thanks to strong venom resistance, the king snake becomes a formidable specialized snake predator. Two cold bodies are tightly entwined on the ground. The king snake has locked onto the rattlesnake and begins the slow swallowing process.
I saw a blacktail yesterday in Catalina State Park.
Look at him fighting.
This time, however, the prey is swallowed from the tail, against the direction of the scales, making the process more difficult and prolonged. The rattlesnake stubbornly turns its head to strike back, repeatedly injecting venom into the opponent's body. The king snake does not retreat. It maintains steady constriction. Notably, constricting snakes do not kill by suffocation, but by restricting blood circulation.
Well, I'm not afraid of the king snake.
As resistance fades, the king snake opens its jaws rhythm by rhythm and swallows the opponent whole. The hunt ends in absolute silence.
Kind of a full stomach.
Even in captivity, king snakes and rattlesnakes retain their innate instinct to confront each other. The king snake launches first, but the rattlesnake narrowly evades. The king snake quickly coils around the opponent, biting and holding the midsection to limit movement. However, the rattlesnake can still turn its head, maintaining the ability to counterattack with venom. Notably, despite its venom resistance, the king snake does not act recklessly. In confined spaces, when its advantage is no longer absolute, it is forced to release the prey and withdraw. Huron versus cascabel. The Huron does not attack hastily. It circles behind the cascabel, repeatedly nipping at the tail as a test. The snake almost ignores it, slithering slowly. But that very silence becomes a dangerous signal. Many members of the mustelid family possess physiological mechanisms that reduce the effects of snake venom, rendering venom-based deterrents ineffective. The Huron switches tactics and lunges to bite directly at the head. The cascabel quickly becomes motionless. In nature, those who understand an opponent's limits always hold the advantage. Coral snake versus centipede. The coral snake becomes trapped among interwoven dry roots, its body pinned so tightly that escape is nearly impossible. Despite struggling, the coral snake cannot turn its head to counterattack. The centipede uses its front legs to pin the prey, biting repeatedly to weaken it. Few realize that centipede venom contains toxins that act directly on the nervous system and soft tissue, powerful enough to kill even small snakes. In the chain of survival, a single positional mistake can reverse the roles of predator and prey. Spitting cobra versus puff adder. The spitting cobra and the puff adder both belong to the category of extremely dangerous venomous snakes, but their approaches to enemies are completely different. The puff adder relies on passive defense, a thick, heavy body, dense skin, and powerful neck muscles allow it to withstand many direct attacks.
Right behind his head, yeah.
When it notices the puff adder's neck exposed for a split second, the cobra delivers a precise strike. Neurotoxic venom quickly induces paralysis, turning initiative into the decisive advantage in this survival confrontation. What you have just seen shows that in the world of snakes, every hunt is a life or death gamble. They can strike perfectly, but there are also moments when they must pay the price if the opponent counters. Victory or defeat is never guaranteed, and that is what makes nature so harsh and haunting. If you felt the tension in every moment, please like, leave a comment, and subscribe to continue exploring the most authentic survival hunts and confrontations in nature. Thank you for watching until the end. See you again on the next journey of the wild world.